out, man.
Well, that's some real advice.
Yeah.
I like this. We're all on the half of us. I feel like the people who picked Gen.G here, they had almost no real logic behind it. At least we had K&G and Internet.
Yeah.
MIBR.
Yeah, man.
They had nothing.
It's time to log on. Fallen had a quick peek towards lower tunnel, but Kusta was spotting it, as we often see someone spotting it in a pistol round. Kusta having a look with that P250. 2 P250s in the pistol round here for Gen.G. Definitely worth mentioning, as there are plenty of long ranges to be had here. Nothing untoward. I think at this point, if there's a smoke up on Xbox, you'd expect the CT to be standing behind it.
Yeah, it's become so common. I mean, it's kind of hard to punish. You don't just want to be firing the gun from lower down. Almost catching Mayan, but good return. Daps as well for fighting out in the open. He's got really nowhere to hide out here, so he has to win this fight or he's going to be dead, and he will. Good follow-up, good double kill, and MIB off to a very smooth start here. He's just ready to take this fight. Look at the lack of fear. You could just see he was not afraid at any point during any of that.
Yeah,
what a shutdown.
Bomb was lost on long. So Gen.G threw a mid to B smoke. I'm not sure if it came from outside long or from mid. Either way, I think the bomb was seen at long before the smoke popped. So I think Daps was trying to perhaps offer a fake towards that B-bomb site. Got some frags through middle doors, but again, the bomb was lost on long, and Fer cleaned up with a pistol as he needed to. And MIBR are off to a good start on the CT side.
I mean, surely that round is completely different if Bentet gets that kill.
Yeah.
That just feels like it all tilts on that. As soon as he doesn't, they just end up in a bunch of individual fights one at a time. Probably would have worked out differently. Gen.G though, a single scout, and that's a little bit interesting. So just automatic spending his money. I guess you could do that. I don't know. This almost seems like a mistake.
A hero scout.
It's rare.
Yeah, it's a more unique approach, especially with the cheaper Galil as well. The hero scout is interesting, but I would he's got to find his headshots basically. Oops. Bentet's going to be the information man. So again, the pistols need to find the positions, and then automatic needs to swing and find a headshot, essentially. Oh, Main could be in trouble here. Here come the numbers, but it's just Stomp to take him out immediately. That's his form. There's a rifle to be collected. Fallen doing a great job of protecting it. HG in a P2000. Right, time for the rotation now, and automatic alone.
No armor or anything, and he's going to get taken out. Well, I don't know. That looked like it was going to get much worse. I think he had, like, what, the grenade and the P250 combination there? And it worked out pretty well. Third round coming up. Gen.G. Automatic going to be buying a scout again. I almost have to assume that was a mistake the first time.
Well, I guess it's probably more viable to get a scout and no Kevlar. I think that's the only thing that's viable here, or a Deagle raiding around such as this. I think there's an option to drop a Galil for someone who buys armor, but maybe that's a bigger investment they didn't want. Anyway, Gen.G going to make it out towards long, and perhaps the rifle will be collected later on. Som will take Main's head off. A very good start for Som. Big problem for MIBR towards the A-bomb site. Fallen stuck in a point of no return, and the numbers are coming.
Yeah, that's really uncomfortable. I don't even know what he would have done to try and survive that. Even if he got the first kill, probably wouldn't have worked out. Daps crouching in the fire, and will barely make it out alive. It's going to be a bomb plant here. What a powerful round out of Gen.G. That was, like, once they won the first fight, it was just dominoes all throughout long, wasn't it?
Yeah, and Automatic's gone from a scout to an AWP, so that's a pretty good pickup from him. K&G with not much to do here. This is going to be very expensive for MIBR. Got the pistol and a consecutive round without too many losses, but this one will certainly have impact. So it may be a hero rifle for MIBR in the next round. We'll see what they do with the remainder of their money.
It's tricky, right? If they all survive this round, which it looks like they will, then it's even hard to punish the economy, maybe. But yeah, they could do it. It feels to me like some of the time when you see those long rushes, that CT side defending, they almost have to make up their minds very, very quickly if they want. I mean, obviously they were going for a fight here, but I don't think they were expecting for two people to be behind that blue container. But a lot of the time in that long fight, it just feels to me like if there's any indecision, if you're like, oh, half of us are fighting, or we're not quite sure yet, I generally don't like that long fight. We were watching a team yesterday, I can't remember who it was, but they just basically never held long at all on the CT side. They just said, you can just have it, it's fine, take it, and we'll go do something else.
Fallen takes the bullet through, oh, there we go. Wondering about those two HG grenades. Deployed by Taco and K&G. Fallen tagged through the door as he crosses towards B. but it's early. It's been dangerous very early on. May have got sound cues towards Cat, but again, nothing untoward, but information's always good. Bentet in control of long for the time being. They may give MIBR a second to make any plays, any pop flashes or anything. I think was it Cloud9 or someone? We saw a pop flash retake attempt late on long, which would be interesting in a situation such as this. But no, MIBR holding, looking for close range on the site for the time being.
They're taking it very slowly. For a second there, Som was alone. Could have been some danger if he would have been found. Instead, Taco getting curious. And I guess that's the whole play with having the AWP down in pit, right? You can leave it there for a long time, and if anyone ever goes to look long, then they probably lose a player. And now they're going to group up on Catwalk, trying to see if they can run this down. But not falling back. And yeah, that was really well timed.
Yeah, I was wondering if, well, Gen.G was in CT spawn and he had 2 flashes. And I was wondering if they were initially waiting for the smokes to come to cross long to pop flash the ecoing players through it, but Gen.G took all the hidey holes away. Very nicely done by them, abusing the numbers game. So far so good for Gen.G. 2 for 2. MIBR back on the buy. Gen.G will have an AWP, and Fallen will have the scout. Let's see where they go now. If they use one of their precious smokes to cross. Automatic looking good with the flicks at present. There we go.
Felt like that was close. But just a scout in one of these positions. Fallen, the one running out on long with that at the moment. They've kept the AWP inside of the B-bomb side and alone as well, which, I mean, it's obviously fine, but the problem is if they did smoke and flash their way through, that one AWP is going to be kind of tricky to stop that many people with, so don't really mind the AWP playing alone. I don't know. He's on the B-bomb side. I don't think he can escape if they actually end up coming for him. But it feels like right now they're just... Oh no. Interrupted in the boost.
Yeah, some running. Taco had a little information in. That was enough to do some damage. Now at this point in MIBR, I've got 2 smoke grenades. Still got a bunch of flashes and a heavy presence towards Cat. You can see there's a big anti-flash setup on Cat with Fallen holding the angle with the scout. So they are laying quite a significant trap there. Avangard smoke, I think.
Yeah.
Rip Avangard organization. There it is. Currently gets one, and it's not enough. That's way not enough. The round's over.
What a return! Because that worked out really well for the first kill at the very least. It's also another one of these positions where, you know, I mean, never mind that Quark, I don't know if Fallen even hit the shot there, but if he had the AWP, at least there's some stopping power. The scout's not going to be enough, right? All he'll do is tag someone up, and then it's still a lot of trouble for Fur. Okay, well, he's done.
Nice.
Gen.G going to be trying to save the AWP, but some incredible rounds out of Gen.G in terms of building the economy. And look at how much money they have even now, and they haven't even got the win bonus yet.
Yeah. Some 9 for 2 in 5 rounds. He's had an instrumental start to this game. Gen.G didn't fire a bullet this round.
But you should point out early on here that Gen.G was picked by Moses because of Kuster and Bentet, and they have 1 and 0 kills respectively. So I just want to...
So he's trying to ruin Kuster's career all over again.
That is apparently his thing. That's what he does now.
He's going for a round 2.
I don't know what it is.
What have you got against Kuster?
Yeah, just every time the guy's trying to make it work for himself.
Honestly, I want to see him with the AWP now. I forget what his previous team was, but he had definitely matured as a player and found his own style with the AWP. So I think there's definitely value to be had with him rocking that and Automatic having a different role in the team, if that's something they will consider in the future. I hope so. But anyway, Gen.G, after standing in B all day and not being able to do anything in the last round, he'll dive going aggressive on Cat. Looks like MIBR will go to retrieve the AWP. I don't expect anything else to be done in this round.
Yeah, don't think they're going to be allowed to though. The Dax is here. It's a pretty interesting kill coming out with the USP. And at least they have the AWP, but they're still boxed in by Bentet over at long, and there should be no problem. They've also given up the Krieg. Gen.G, yeah, probably just refocusing on trying to win the round instead of looking for the kills, at least for a second here. I kind of want to see Kuster go back to that as well. We've actually had that conversation a little bit off camera some of the time about you know, players that get fast-tracked into the spotlight, and then they have to take a lot of steps back. I think Kadeen is another obvious choice as someone who, you know, got to play with the core of Astralis at some point, and then, you know, maybe that was a little bit too soon or too quick. Nice kill there. But yeah, I'd want to see Kusta give it a shot one more time.
Yeah, I think he unfairly got a bad rap due to certain overhyping, but no, but he is definitely, he's come into his own now. Oh, solid flashbang from Ben-Tet.
Nothing is saved at the end. They have money to buy anyway here at MIBR, but it would have been great to have that AWP, because that's actually the one thing that they sort of, and they could afford it on Fur if he wants, but then there'll be no grenades. It's going to be K&G to pick it up, but that will that'll be at a certain cost as well. No armor on him. And another one on Forza. That's a... what a sacrifice. No... Fallen could get armor, but no head armor. But still, that's a pretty big sacrifice to get this double orb. So they're serious about it.
Automatic makes his way out. Doesn't see that anybody's in the pit just yet. I think he could get caught off guard here, and indeed he will. Now, do they risk going through the door? No, they'll fall back, Gen.G. Have to give it up and say, all right, our opportunities have come and gone. A safe smoke. Kusta hoping for an angle, but I don't think we'll get one. So, time for a plan B for Gen.G. Long has failed. What else do they have in store?
Yeah, they got really nothing. They didn't even get any information, right? Like, at least if you go down long, but you see 3 people there, you could call it in and make a really quick play afterwards, but he just got shot in the side of the head without getting any count of how many people were actually there. Molotov to force Fallen back as he's almost going down. That's so sketchy. Mayan, though, with a very good return. And Kusta can't really find a way to challenge that. K&G all the way to the back of the bomb side to take down Ben-Tet. 5-2 now here in the round, and I don't know. I don't know what they could do. Again, economic damage would be great. They have no money at all on the MIBR side, so surely that is the name of the game.
Looking for the gap. All the pros know about that. Fallen near the car, but not on the car, which is good for him since there are flames here. He's got the off angle. Mayan playing from the goose position. Not quite getting there versus Dapsto. I don't think he's got the plan because he's going to get taken out. It was on the corner as well. I think it was inevitable. MIBR survive with 4. Excuse me. They make it to 3. It's been a long time, or it feels like that, since they've won a round. Surviving with the number is really important for them, but the Kriegs are coming straight back.
And they didn't get to steal any Kriegs either, James, which is, you know, a bit of a shame. I feel like that's where the real power is. There's like an ongoing community discussion, isn't there, at the moment about teams not buying the Krieg on the T side in order to not drop them for the CT side, basically. Which I don't know how much wisdom there is in that. It'd be interesting to follow up on that at some point. Ben-Tet with a little bit of a charge looking down into the pit. They've got one player isolated there, but Fallen's going to get a kill on Daps. That's over at the catwalk, and they can't close out the pit either. And now Mayan could buy a lot more time. Backup is here, and they're going to flash their way through. Nice return from Automatic and Kusta, though.
Yeah, Fallen at the point of no return. Big risk if he thinks he can fall back. Baited. But Kusta doesn't quite hit the shot. They're going to swing together. There's one. Now, how important is that trade? Automatics in a 1 versus 2 after Kusta gets taken out. He died for the President, but can the President deliver? It's 1 smoke for the crosshair for Automatic. If he tries to look for a kill over the top of it, since there's a gap on the side, indeed he will. That molly could have been useful for Captain. The off angle from Taco. Unfortunate for Automatic. MIBR are finding some success now with these long pushes from Gen.G. It looks like Gen.G might continue to lose rounds with these pushes, so I do wonder if they're going to be warded off from these early plays towards long.
Yeah, I'm kind of impressed. I'm normally fairly critical about those long holds for any CT side, really. So they're making it work. I think that's a little bit rare in the current meta. Normally people throw those smokes that land on the long corner and then they just bomb flashbangs over the wall, and it's very, very hard for the CTs to stick around. But Gen.G have been trying to fight it a little bit more straight up, and MIBR just come out on top of those fights for now, at least. So I wonder if next time they go long, they are going to throw that smoke and just try and see if they could do it that way. Fallen expecting a boost on the other side of the box that he's not going to get at the moment. Automatic, though, could be a kill on K&G if he actually goes for it here, but looks like he's falling back. So way looser on the long defense, way heavier on the B side this time, I guess. They're expecting the switch up for Gen.G.
Presence shown by K&G in mid doors. Fallen in the usual position. Often been changing the setup with the... Oh, he sees the barrel. As you go for the wallbang. Almost. Well, there's some information, but where are Gen.G going? There's a minute on the clock, a hell of a lot of time. If they make footsteps on Cat, Mayan will hear them from his position. That's so well timed. It's going to force two of them back, actually, so that will buy some time. Again, that connection should be heard by Mayan, but will anybody rotate? They're playing still 3B, firmly towards B for MIBR. That presence trying to invite a rotation, but where will Gen.G go? Kus is still lurking outside B, and it might be a push here from Taco.
If they go to the B-bomb site, that Molotov on K&G is going to be really hard to deal with. Even if it's just in the door or the window, it's going to close out so much. Remember, Fur is still outside on that scaffolding. Dash running through alone with the bomb, and that's been spotted at 17 seconds. What a nightmare here for Gen.G. I think, you know, they left very little time, and once they finally went middle, it was the bomb alone leading the charge. Bentet goes down, K&G with a good shot there, and still hiding inside. And that's what they weren't expecting. That's the third B player that they run into. So they're probably keeping count on the team as they're going through the middle, and they're like, right, that was one, that was two, and then you just don't expect the third one there. Taco, even to save the AWP. That's some pretty good comeback early on here for MIBR. 5-4 now in their favor.
Yeah, just holding firmly in their choices. 3 towards B works out for them.
I mean, that actually looked like Gen.G slightly lost track of the round, didn't it? Like that Molotov, it was at, what, 40 seconds or something it went down? The one that Fallen threw up on Catwalk? So they had time to make another plan, but it didn't feel like they ever did.
Automatic still landing those cross shots. Taco is half health. Som once again being a menace towards Flan. Can he get the second? He can't, but Bentet is there with the angle to trade. Now we've got 2 more MIBR players already towards the B, the A bomb site, excuse me, and Taco is around 2 smokes in mid, so we'll see if he dares go for a flank with 4 players alive. Looks like he might have to.
Yeah, good playmaking coming out from Taco. I mean, 4 versus 3, you definitely want to try and find a way to get your team back into the game. And as he's pushing, that's some good communication. You could tell K&G and Fur saying, okay, we're not going to be fighting long, just 2 versus 4. So let's let Taco move around, and we'll try and stay alive at the catwalk. I almost wish K&G would fall back a slight bit further. He's still pretty exposed here. But at least Fur has got a Molotov as well to buy some time. KG's got a smoke and a Molotov. So this is actually a doable round for MIBR, all things considered.
The like smoke for K&G. People often do them on the side, but he wants to find the kills. Misses a shot again. I think he drops an incendiary as well. This round will indeed be over.
Wow. I'm shocked that he missed that chance. And I'm almost shocked again that they were ready to fight that far into the bomb site with Taco doing the flank. It felt like that actually takes away from Taco's chances of doing anything. Yeah,
last MIBR game I saw, it was Fallen. I think it was yesterday. It was Fallen who took like a map to warm up. And maybe it will be K&G today who needs that first map just to warm up and get the derp out and then come into the second one. Firing on all cylinders.
Could be. We've both staked our hopes on him.
Yeah, I kind of like, I had that on the back of my mind. I kind of wanted to pick Gen.G, but went with MIBR. I'm not sure which way it will go. You know, I like to be confident in the picks, but I am unsure. These are nervous times. 2 echoing CTs now have made their way into middle. There is a weapon to be collected. Kus is aware of this.
Unlike the other analysts, James, would you have a reason for picking Gen.G?
A reason for picking Gen.G?
Yeah.
Well, I thought that stylistically, I thought the matchup was pretty interesting. I think I was probably swayed by the fact that they lost the last 2 games to MIBR, but with the veto, like, I don't know what to expect on Dust 2 though from Gen.G. And we saw some promising things and some nice setups, but MIBR have overcome some of them so far.
All right.
So, yeah, there's an argument for in both directions basically, but I think MIBR results-wise quite obviously have been pretty disappointing for the most part. So, I feel like I should have. I think it's just the head-to-head it made me pick.
All right.
MIBR really.
I mean, I think there were a couple of things that in the last couple of Gen.G games I've seen that really weren't functioning that well. One of them, I think actually Bentet, he's not been at the top of the scoreboard. I think he's been playing pretty good Counter-Strike. I think Automatic has been missing a little bit, which is so rare. He's such a solid player. So you could even I think you could even make a bet at some point where you're like, you know, if Automatic is going to have 1 or 2 not amazing games, chances are he'll be back pretty quickly. I haven't actually seen, you know, a long streak of games from Tim. Even at the worst of times, it feels like with his career, it's usually pretty good. So
yeah, he is most consistent. Good use of the ult though. MIBR focusing on the long hold once again. There's no challenge from Gen.G, and if they realize there are 3 towards long with all that utility being dumped, what will they choose to do? Taco playing close to the smoke, dumping a molly. If anybody's on one side. So he is delaying. Again, MIBR still very invested in A in general.
Oh dear, he's in a lot of trouble. He's got that AK-47. This is going to have to be all through the smoke as they're coming through. He's got no backup. They're all miles away. They were already fanned out through the smoke. Gen.G will get a kill through, but that'll also be the last one. They're going to smoke it up here. And MIBR almost need to fall back. They have 2 people with AWPs that have no armor.
Oh,
and
now they got one.
Yeah, now they get that one. I don't know. I feel like they should have made this call as soon as Taco went down almost. As disappointing as it is at 6-5.
So Fallen pushed the smoke to try. Like, sometimes you can get away with that in terms of fragging the person who's planting default, just running through the smoke, because while people are deploying grenades and so on, they're just not expecting that. But then assuming you get traded there...
Still not worth it, is it?
Yeah, like you don't have any incendiaries, which can really, really help with the retake. Where Fallen had no grenades, so there was no one in position to throw flashes for Taco over the roof. So Taco is in a lot of trouble. I think people would be saving 4 weapons here for MIBR, so indeed I do think it was high risk, no reward.
Which is generally not the ratio that we're looking for.
Yeah.
13th round though. They've really been insisting on that double AWP setup. That's also why I'm so confused about the fact that they wanted to try, they wanted to even risk it, right? They've been putting a lot of money into getting it a couple of rounds where it's been costing them armor and some other things. At least they slightly have the round loss bonus that's starting to kick in here. 3rd round in a row that they lost, and they still have the 1 AWP. Some more grenades to play around with. 7-5. I actually think if they can win one more round here, MIBR still think they're in a pretty decent spot for the CT side of Dust 2. I don't think it's that bad. Kusta sneaking out of middle with almost no support. I like this kind of play. This is cool.
Grenades will tell a story, though. That one's gone the wrong way, surely.
He's been spotted.
Yeah, now the flanks are coming in from 3 players. Only Kusa is here. Look at Long, and look at the radar. The bomb is moving up. They're completely out of position now. Kusa again, he's going to be the sacrificial lamb. Mayan's taken up. There's the straight numbers still working. The repick from Som with the bomb. He don't give a damn.
That is so ridiculous. He was dead no matter what there, but they just almost used the fact that he was in that position, sort of a magnet for the entire MIBR team to start to focus on. Bomb is down, and at least they'll get back through middle. We'll see what happens. That's also information immediately for Gen.G that it's already been called off. Gen.G will take down Som, who's been playing a pretty good game at the moment. He's, what, 14-7? So he's leading the board overall. It's a strong game coming out of him.
Yeah.
A couple of people had given up on Som, I feel like, early on in this.
He's like 12 years old. How can you give up on him?
I don't know. Just for Flashpoint, I feel like we talked about hyped him up in the beginning, and then it wasn't really up to standard, I think.
Well, there's plenty of games to be played.
True.
As long as you keep winning. Gen.G not going to overextend, although I guess we'll... No need to chase with an AWP. Just hold the position. Okay.
That's a frustrating way to lose a round, surely. Like, you have a guy locked in a corner, you've seen him, and you actually have, what, 3 people, 2 from CT spawn and 1 from B, all watching it.
That's schoolboy football. They're all chasing the ball.
Well, there we go. Quick smoke. Can't believe they don't have that firing inside of the smoke. Fallen wants to go and save his teammate. He's going to get at least a 1, but flashed, and I'm surprised that nothing was traded there from the Gen.G side.
No more flashes to help Fur in the pit, but he seems okay. Kusa gets exploded, and Som is forced to run away. Bomb is collected by Daps, automatic looking to creep into the window. Gen.G will deliver the shot. No kill just yet, however. 2 players in B for MIBR. Fur and Taco with all the remaining flashes on the server at this point.
And an HE for Taco. Doesn't even matter against automatic. It's going to be the AK instead, but the grenade will land right on top of them with the Molotov forcing them out. This is really nothing they can do. Gen.G with a really good round there. And also, also some good work from Fallen out at long, saving his teammate down in the pit.
Yeah, it's pretty good situation now for MIBR. 6 rounds on their CT side. CT side Dust 2 is definitely a struggle at the moment for all teams. So this is a pretty good situation for them. They go into the last round of 2 Kriegs, the AWP on Gen.G. Fallen just light on the money to drop May and an M4. Looking for a player to move up Suicide to Automatic's left-hand side. Which is where Som is already, actually.
Oh! A little bit too much confidence, perhaps, for Automatic. He was waiting around there for a long time, and eventually Gen.G hearing the shots and, I don't know, maybe even seeing some of the dust coming through on the wall, realizing what side he was shooting at. It's going to be 8-6 right now overall. Could be a 7th round for MIBR. I think that would be pretty good. Mayon in a position out here that's fairly regularly Molotov if he will want to try and take this later on. But now he's got Fallen there to back him up, and that might work out. Taco is going to win the fight against Kuster over at B. And Bentet and Som, I don't know if they can actually get through here. Smoke was thrown by Fallen, and he just fell back almost immediately. And yeah, they're backing out. If they could have isolated Mayer in that position, that would have been a good fight if they could have won it.
Yeah, speaking of young talents, Mayer, the young talent for MIBR. Had a lot of feedback about him from Brazilian fans on Twitter. Now he finds himself in the biggest organization in Brazil. Oh my god. That's painful. 3v5 for Gen.G. Looking to set up some lurk smokes. Now, how much time does Daps have behind this smoke? Might sometimes see some late taps from a CT. For a smoke like that. Oh my god, he's going to get both over. A few more bullets. Can't quite get there, but a Deagle, surely. 1 HP. Goodbye.
Oh, no.
Ooh, finish it off that guy. There we go. 7 rounds for MIBR at half-time.
He really wanted it, didn't he? Good sport for trying it, but yeah, I think 7 rounds is pretty acceptable. I'm not unhappy about that.
Yeah.
Good to see Som playing really well, I think, for all the Gen.G fans out there. They're going to be excited about that. We'll see how it goes. Second half is going to be coming up right after the break, so stay with us and we'll be right back.
Autofull, gaming chairs for pro teams.
Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As you guys saw a little bit of the picture-in-picture, James wearing his goggles and flying the drone around.
I crashed it behind the Flashpoint sign. It's like up. I don't even know how I'm going to get that back, but we'll have to figure that out.
We'll find a ladder and we'll send Moses to get it. No troubles. The second half is coming up here. We were generally satisfied with this, and now they're rushing long. Are you satisfied with that, James?
Absolutely. There's no terrible choice in a pistol round as long as you've got P250.
That's satisfying.
Certainly got one. Bentek getting cheeky. He's seen a lot of information now. We've got a support grenade coming in. They're lining up, but damage and no frag. Getting closer to the site on MIBR. Trying to make their way there. Fallen still holding that long range with a P250. Moving up now. There's an eventual flank coming from Som. In the meantime, we've got Boost just waiting as a bait setup, as you can see here, with Kusta hiding by Gandalf. So there's a lot going on. Lots of two-man setups in these micro situations. Automatic moving away now. Som's getting all these frags in the meantime.
They did no damage. They hit no bullets MIBR in that round.
Oh my god.
At all.
That's four cheap helmets.
Yeah. And also...
I've never seen that before.
No, that's so rare, isn't it? Like, and especially because they were fighting, like, all out at long the whole way through. And they were getting chipped down, MIBR. Apart from that first shot from Bentek, it was all just, you know, slowly chipped away, 7 health at a time.
I've never seen a team do 0 damage in a pistol round.
Well, is there a medal for that? Can we make them one?
Look at the rifles that the CTs get. You do 0 damage to their armor, they get their $350 helmet, which means you're up against more rifles early. That is literally a perfect scenario for a CT team specifically.
Well, they got it. We're going to be excited about it. Obviously, no bomb plan either for MIBR, so they did spend all of their money in this round, which in itself, it could, you know, you could question that. Maybe especially given the lack of damage.
500 HP pistol round.
That's kind of ridiculous.
Fallen and Fur remain. An attempt with the scout, nothing doing though. Remember the days of Old Dust 2, that was like what made Chris J's name with the scout, I would say.
True, he was one of the pioneers.
Yeah.
Especially when it had that feature where when you were at the arc of the jump, it was perfectly accurate.
Yes.
That was so ridiculous.
God. That went on for too long.
Yeah, it did. Now all the focus is on the Krieg. The one that we're all complaining about, one way or another.
Would you, if you had a choice, would you choose to make it play worse or make it more expensive?
I think what I don't like is that it's just so good. Ooh, okay, Taco. There we go, interrupted for a second. I just don't like that it works so well both scoped and unscoped and with spraying and everything else. I just feel like it does everything. That's the thing that I don't really enjoy. Yeah,
for me it's the easiest, outside of like the first 11 bullets of an M4A4, I think it's like the easiest spray in the game.
Yeah.
Which I love. I mean, I guess the spray combined with the fire rate is one problem. The overall value proposition never changed with the price increase, in my opinion.
No, not really. I have a feeling that, you know, if it was going to be that good, then the sacrifice should be that if you were caught with it unscoped, then you had some sort of disadvantage. But if people are opting to not scope half the time now, because even the time that it takes to scope it could be a liability, right? So people just shoot without, and it's still incredibly good.
It's more accurate than the AK, even without scoping. You really don't need to scope. It's just like the scope has a lot of utility if someone's playing a headshot angle or something. But generally speaking, especially casuals and so on, will definitely scope way too much. So there's no trade-off really or anything. But I think they should make it $4,000 and see what happens. Because I think it needs to hurt when you buy it. You know, like the AWP.
That could be, yeah. I mean, that could actually be. It would be worth. I don't see the downside of trying to test anyway.
Yeah.
Like, what do you lose if you, for a while, you just go back to some more AK-based meta, if that's what it is? No one's going to really complain about that, I think. Yeah, I'm in on that.
Okay, we have a minute left in this round.
Oh.
MIBR trying to control Cat. The utility of Gen.G will limit them. Now, we've got 3 players here towards the A bomb site. Automatic and Kusta have flashes, so they can flash behind Bentek to allow him to peek if he needs to. Something's always important. He's going forward, actually. Okay, this is very strange. So we are going to see some bang play from his teammates, or are we? Because they've been baited, it seems, as MIBR make their way towards B.
Yeah, this is a cool strategy. I actually like seeing this. Daps and Som inside of the B bomb site, and you could tell Gen.G just don't know what's coming right now. They're so sure that was going to be some sort of a catwalk hit, and suddenly it's inside the B bomb site instead. Bentet, Som, they get a kill each, and then they go down. Daps still inside of it here, stopping the bomb with 9 seconds left. That was such a critical kill. It could have definitely worked out for MIBR. Now I think they're in a lot of trouble. Taco putting the bomb down. He's in a 1 versus 3, stuck inside of the bomb site, and he has to fight his way out. I like this aggression, but not enough bullets, and he'll go down. That grenade almost took down Daps.
Great target selection by Daps as well. He knows that there's a guy right next to him, but he prioritizes the goal of the bomb plant.
This strategy that they just ran at MIBR is one that they actually tried to do just when Yanko had joined the team as a coach. They tried to make the strat work like 10 different times on Dust 2. I think it's such a cool idea, right? You're pretending that you're doing a catwalk rush, and you jump the guy instead of jumping down and running up towards long. You just jump him down in CT spawn and you go for a B split. And it kind of worked. They just failed. I think if Daps doesn't get that kill and it's just taken down, probably it's going to be their round.
Gen.G has won every CT round thus far. Mayen's in trouble now. He might need some more utility over the top, but if they've done their flashbangs to help Mayen, they've got to hold long as well because they don't have any utility left. K&G is up cap though, but he's been delayed by a molly, and indeed it's failed. Now they've got no flashes, 3 versus 5, just 2 smokes. They've got short, sorry, they've got short, but that's about it.
We just got an example of one of maybe the only downsides of the creek, and it was the fact that that player at long was just in the rim of the scope. Yeah, which is really rough.
It's very limiting in those situations when you scope in. Which is why I think for the most part people should stop scoping with it. Again, it's still more active than the AK. Just before you get to the spray, Bentet in the boost position, falling out towards the door. Daps will hunt that last frag. That was MIBR got victimized in that round.
They did, didn't they?
Yeah. Oh, Mayen's 3 for 15. Jesus. But I think they had to sack him there and leave him to kind of fight for himself. Again, it's such limited utility, a difficult spot for them, MIBR, and it only got worse.
They're starting to get really far behind, and once again, the economy is getting out of control for Gen.G. That was true on the first half as well. And they're back in the same position right now. They've stolen 3 creeks, they got 3 WPs. This is starting to get really obnoxious. Yeah, good luck with the with Mac 10 out there. That is so optimistic.
Yeah. Once he makes that initial play, there's not much else to do. Although this could quickly get awkward, automatic delivering a very important shot. That incendiary will certainly help. Kusta with the Krieg now. Find solace in some kind of scope, even if it's not AWP. Fur and Taco remain. Jesus, the CTs have got 3 Kriegs and 2 AWPs. This game is over. This game's over.
It's so stupid, isn't it? And again, this is the. I guess that is a legitimate downside of the Krieg if you buy on the T side, right? You can end up losing it like this.
I think on Dust 2, defending the B bomb site with a Krieg is so strong. It really shreds people because if you've got a map with the tight choke points like B on Dust 2 or anywhere on Train, like it can help the CTs to no end.
The amount of times if you're holding that angle, even if the person picking against you is with an AWP and you still win with a Krieg, like because it's just one click and they're gone.
It is a delete machine. Well, there we go. MIBR now half the score of Gen.G. So we have 5 Kriegs and 3 AWPs on deck. AK-47's feeling out of place in this round.
They're actually boosting to try and look for automatic, and he's not quite aware of it. He could be in a very dangerous position if he just falls back. Ooh, they're going to be pushing instead. Can't believe no one died in all of that. And they're just going to cancel the whole project.
I was waiting for automatic to jump around that corner because a lot of people do. And it's kind of counterintuitive in a situation like that where that's the only way you're going to expose yourself to a player in a lower area. But he didn't do it because he's automatic. He's a beast. Let's see if K&G runs away after deploying the smoke. No, he just walks away. You've seen people start to run away because people are being sprayed when they're dropping the smoke.
Yeah. Ooh. I felt like they heard a little bit of running there. But Taco's made his way inside, show the top of it. I can't believe he's still alive. And he actually gets the kill on Som anyway, and that's enough to open the bomb site. What a ridiculous way to win that fight on B.
That's a big shot from Fur, really closing down the options for Gen.G in this round. MIBR finally heading towards their first round in this half.
Oh, you're right. That is actually going to be the first round.
Yeah.
I'd lost track of that.
And that's allowed Gen.G to build their money for the rounds to come. Tap sitting on 11.5 grand. Round number 8 for MIBR.
That's a sizable amount of money, isn't it? What kind of watch would you get, James, for 11.5K?
11.5K. If you couldn't buy a, let's see, like a, you could get a Rolex GMT.
All right.
If you're someone who travels, you can get that dual time zone. A GMT Master 2 is a very good choice.
Well, there we go. If you're someone that has that lying around, desk drawer somewhere, 11.5K.
Sloshing around. If you're a dealer of drugs, you know, then.
Then is it made for drug dealers specifically?
I wouldn't say so. I don't know what a drug dealer probably wouldn't have.
Probably not time zones they're worried about.
Yeah,
maybe
or the police.
Maybe
buy a radio scanner instead.
Maybe you could set one of the time zones to be, you know, when the police shift ends and they're just, you know, they're just getting out from one shift to another, and that's when you sell the drugs. Does that work?
I don't know. You've thought about this a lot, Anders.
It just came to me. I'm an entrepreneur at heart, you know. Just try and think about those. I don't know if there's a big market for it though. I don't know how many people.
Could you do seminars to make drug dealers more efficient without being like breaking the law? That's something to think about. Maybe there's a way to do this, Anders.
You probably could.
Yeah, we'll have to think about it later.
Especially online now.
If you're a drug dealer, tweet Anders and see if there's any interest in what we're talking about here.
We're doing the research now at any rate, trying to figure out the demographic for it. 23rd round, and it's going to have to be a bit of a run right now for MIBR, surely. I mean, if there are really no more mistakes that they can make at this point in time. Automatic and Kusta out at long, they're so exposed. If any one of them goes down right now, Gen.G, they've just gambled this whole round on that B-bomb site. And that looks like it's not going to be working out. Surely Taco will join K&G, maybe Fallen 2. Automatic would have to hit some incredible shots here.
Dry peaks. Absolutely dry. Mayan's got no flashes. I don't know if Fur did. I'm assuming not. So they left the bomb with one player towards long when they already had possession of Cat. And now Mayan's going to have to go Cat. Fortunately for him, Som doesn't have the angle before he gets up towards that Cat position. So now it is a gauntlet run, and it's not really working out, is it? Cut to absolute pieces. Gen.G make it to game point.
I'm so disappointed in that because, like you said, a dry peak at long, then a very, very long break. I mean, never mind that Kusta got all the kills in that round, which is great work with the Creek, but they had more people rotating in. There were already like 2 more people that were nearby. That seemed really uninspired by MIBR. Almost like they didn't even want to try and win the round.
Well, they've got one more opportunity to impress or disappoint at the very least. Just one round in this half on the T side.
Oh, he saw that. He absolutely saw that. And now they're going to have to try and go through the smoke into the B-bomb site. Taco and Fur leading the charge, but Som is going to get more kills, and they're just getting shot down. What a dominating map this is. Gen.G with 16-8 as they take down MIBR on the first map. It was picked by Gen.G, and I guess we saw a reason why. That was way better than I was expecting. Yeah,
it's a really interesting situation that Gen.G managed to avoid a lot of the minefield in terms of the veto, and it seems that Dust 2 was a solid choice from them. I feel like I've made a terrible mistake now picking MIBR for this one, but...
Blame me. I did talk you into it right before we joined.
Yeah, it's Anders' fault. Well, there's more CS to be played and thought about by the guys and gals on the couch. So we're going to head to a break. When we're back, there'll be plenty more action, so don't go too far away. I'm going to